I think the first step is to learn not to have the cheapest project, because what we try to explain to the authorities, it's that green building concept needs a lot of research and a lot of involvement in design. So that means you must spend more money when it comes to the project. Yeah, so this is, but first thing is the public authority need to understand why it's so important and what's the difference between green building and energy efficient building. This is the first question I put to my students. What's the difference? Because sometimes I have the sensation that there's a confusion. Energy efficiency is when I'm thinking only about the energy, so I'm thinking as a building, as something that consumes a lot of energy. But in fact, a building is more than this. It involves a lot of energy to build it, and then maybe in 20 years to demolish it. So you have to think over the whole time. Also, you have to think that people that work inside need to have this well-being. And this is very important because even some, let's say, energy efficient buildings are now empty. And why are empty? Because people are not feeling comfortable inside. It's a lot of, maybe it's not enough nature inside. It's not enough daylight inside. The quality of air, maybe it's not so good. So it may be a lot of things that people don't feel well in this energy efficient building. So that's why we are trying to explain that you are building now something that it will be used for 50 years. But okay, 50 years, that means in 2070, that buildings will be demolished. But by then, you need to have something, a place where you feel okay. And you need to consume less, and you need to think about all the materials that are inside. Also about the furniture that you're using. Is it a furniture which is good for your health, or it got a lot of VOC, which is volatile components, which is not very good for your health? So it's this holistic view that it's hard to explain. But coming back, you have asked what to do with. So first, we are trying to teach. Yeah, it's not very nice to say, but sometimes you need to explain people that what are the new trends when it comes to buildings, and how to spend well this public money. And then to see as a procedure where you have something like a green charrette. For a building, it started with a green charrette. That means a long discussion about how big should be that building, how important are some spaces, how not important are, and so on. So it's long. It will take more time to develop a good green building than a cheap building where you say the procedure is who will ask less money for that will win the tender. So it's a change of mentality, and then that it's gradually. But then when they see the results, and when they see that, okay, it took a long time, but involving architects, engineers, contractors, and other people that might have something to say, like bicycle association, which will say, okay, where's the place where I put my bicycle? And everybody said, oh, we didn't thought of that. And then, okay, it's getting back, making alteration to the project, and coming back and say, okay, is it okay now for you? And then there will be another car association who said, oh, there's not enough parking for us. And then it's, you see, it takes a long time, but the results are totally different. That's what I am trying to explain to the public authorities. Take time and see, because take notice that in time you will see the difference. But that's the problem. The public authority usually think from this election year to the next election year. So they don't care what's in 10 years. Okay, I won't be there maybe in 10 years. So what's my interest? It's an interested community. In 10 years, you're still living in this community and still be maybe not the mayor, but a city councillor. So you'll also be interested in 10 years what's happening. So stop thinking only for next election, thinking on and have a global view.
Super.
Yeah.
Would you like to add something else, Dorin?
Well, what I wanted also to say is that we have all this certification system also for cities. This is also important for a city because this is considered something so annoying. I mean, there's the system we are using at the Romania Green Building Council is the European Energy Award, which is a European system. Okay, at the beginning it was a Swiss system and then it became a European system, but it's a system where you're evaluating the city, starting from the planning, city buildings, mobility, energy, and then also cooperation and then communication. So it's long, it takes a lot of time, and in many cases city council are annoyed because, you know, I will spend so many hours only completing a lot of papers and but then in the end you find where's your weak points. And this is also important because it's maybe you can see a city as a company. Where are the weak points? Where are you wasting money? What's not working? But the difference between a company and a city council is that a city council can ask for European money, for national money, but you have a good explanation. Why are you need this money for that? And then you explain that, you see, I make an overall estimation and my weak point is mobility. I have a problem, people are not using public transport. So I want to do something, and then you start asking money, and you're explaining why, and that's why it's so important, this city evaluation, because you have a clear view what's working, what's not working, and where to invest. You're making plans, and then you find that your problems are not unique in a way. It's the same problem with the city which is around you. They have maybe, and this is usually happening in every country. Cities are having more or less similar problems, and then they are trying to find solution, and then you may find source of inspiration. What did it work to a city which is 50 kilometers from us, and what didn't work, and so on. Exchange information, you're improving things, and that's how things, because it's also sometimes we need to explain to a city council things will not improve in 1 year. They will improve gradually, but you need to take steps and to have a clear picture now, and then every year see what have worked, what didn't work, what to do now, how to spend money wisely, because this is also important. When you're looking now to cities, you see that in 30 years their budget increased more than 10 times, something 20 times. So there is a lot of money, but how to spend it wisely? Oh, this is a big question. Not that we have the answer. It's not that we are some kind of genius. We say, yeah, you need to. It's just we are trying to help and to work together. It's not that we have all the answers, but whenever you're using consultants, it's extremely useful, because sometimes they will tell you truths that, sometimes difficult to swallow, but still it's the truth. And it's important that someone have a independent view of your city and tell you, okay, this doesn't work, try something else, or have different ideas, or maybe just simply exchange ideas with somebody and find maybe the best solution what works for your city.